Hi guys, it's Katie. I am doing dishes right now, but I have 2 sleeping children right now, and I thought it would be a good excuse to make a video. I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but I don't have any content right now because I'm not really doing anything. All of the things I usually make my videos about are on hold, so I'm not really cooking dinner. We're still eating a lot of those freezer meals, and I haven't really even been grocery shopping because we've been eating those freezer meals. Haven't been food prepping. Haven't really been doing much of those sort of ordinary things. But I thought I'd say hi and Merry Christmas, and I've been thinking about coming back to YouTube, you know, in the next few weeks. I had originally decided that it would probably be after the new year, but things are falling into a rhythm pretty easily. You know, everything changes, especially with the newborn. Things change from week to week as far as how they sleep and eat and things like that. But I feel pretty good about, you know, coming back with a regular sort of schedule in the new year. I've been thinking about if I want to do all of the videos that I used to do, like, do I want to do weekly meals every week, or do I want to just like pick a few meals and put up like a monthly one with any new recipes or anything that, you know, turns out really well. And same thing with grocery hauls. I didn't know if I should just put up a grocery haul every week, or just if like I get a really good deal on something, or I get, you know, some new kind of produce or something that you've never seen before, or I've never eaten before, or something like that. And then as far as like recipe videos and stuff like that, as I come across recipes that I really like, or you know, new anything, I'll share that as I always have. And I think I'll have a project roundup for December. I'll probably film that before Christmas because a lot of the things that I'm making are for Christmas presents. So I've actually had time to craft, which is crazy because I feel like in the last year I haven't felt like I have time, but when you have a newborn you have a lot of time to just sit quietly. So I've actually been making some things. I showed on Facebook, I showed the baby doll I made for my son. I'm making something for my daughter. Maybe something for my husband. We'll find out. See if I get that one done. Right now I'm just washing dishes, so sorry if this is like a distracted video, but I wanted to putz around my kitchen a little bit, but I also wanted to make a video, so we'll see how well I can multitask and do both of those things. Hopefully you can hear me over the sound of my faucet. I'll show you something I made today. Actually, I made 2 things. I made these coconut macaroons. They're like a different kind of macaroon than I guess most people think of. I've always called this coconut macaroon, but people say it's more like meringue. I don't know. It's dairy free. A lot of coconut macaroon recipes have sweetened condensed milk, but this just has egg whites, sugar, coconut. So I made those. I also made some bread. I made this today. I got really good. I kind of really got the hang of making sourdough loaves like this right before my son was born, and then I, you know, put it away, and I made sure to feed my starter so that it would stay, you know, robust. But in the month that I kind of took off from my kitchen, it got colder in my kitchen, and I had to relearn. So I had a couple of bad loaves, but this is a pretty good looking loaf, and it's got a nice crackly crust, but it's not like hard as a rock like my last couple of loaves. So I'll cut into this and show you that in a minute. Let's see, maybe if you come a little closer it won't be so hard to hear me. The harder loaves that I made, those sourdough loaves, I ripped up and I'm drying, and I'll use those for stuffing. I actually used sourdough bread for my Thanksgiving stuffing, and it turned out really delicious. we're kind of slowly getting into the swing of things for holidays. We put up the Christmas tree this weekend. I have a lot of ornaments that mean a lot to me, and I don't want them to get broken, so a lot of things aren't on the tree this year. In years past, I was able to wrangle my little one, but now with the two of them, I can't be bothered with that. So I just didn't put them on. So our tree's kind of, I don't know. In years past, we always got a real tree, and I had all these handmade ornaments and ornaments from my childhood, and now we have an artificial tree that we got, I think last year or the year before. It's just easier and more cost effective. The price of Christmas trees like doubled one year, so that's the year we decided to go ahead and get an artificial tree. And it works out really well because I don't even have to worry about watering it or anything like that, or it getting knocked down or sweeping up needles. It's a lot easier. But right now we have like some Dollar Tree ornaments and then some plastic indestructible ornaments. And everything else is put away for this year. But it still looks nice. My husband put colored lights on it, even though it's a pre-lit tree. There's never enough lights, even on a tree that has lights, so he put a lot of extra colored lights, LED lights. I'll show you in a second. It makes really nice patterns on the wall. But other than that, we're doing really good. We had a little rocky start. So I talked about on Facebook, after my son was born, I hemorrhaged. I lost a lot of blood, and I did that after the birth of my daughter too. But I was really scared because after the birth of my daughter, it took a long time to recover from that. And so when it happened again, I was freaking out because after my daughter, I was like 6 months postpartum, and I was still like exhausted halfway through the afternoon, and I kind of started to wonder if I'd ever feel normal again. Like, it really kind of messed with my head. So when I hemorrhaged again this time, let's go over here and clean this counter now. I was really terrified that that was going to happen again. I was already kind of worried about wrangling 2 kids at once, as it was. But doing that with dealing with like anemia and blood loss and stuff like that, it was weighing heavily on my mind. So I'm 6 weeks and 2 days. 6 weeks and 2 days postpartum today, and I feel fine. Like, I'm tired at the end of the day, but I'm like, that's at the end of the day. Which is a lot better than like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't really feel like I had a baby 6 weeks ago at all. I feel normal, regular, I guess, you know, as far as my energy level and my mental state, things like that, so. It ended up being a really good thing though, because my son, his belly button started bleeding after it was all healed and the stump fell off. It started bleeding again, and we had the pediatrician look at it, we had my midwife look at it, and they said it was normal amount of bleeding, but it just got worse and worse, and ended up, we had to go to the emergency room 2 different times, spent many hours in the emergency room, and then they even admitted him overnight, which meant I was admitted overnight, or I stayed with him in the hospital. And I told my husband if that would have been my first baby at 2 weeks postpartum, I wasn't even able to sit up, let alone sit up in an ER and sit up in a hospital room overnight. You know, taking care of him, I was hardly able to take care of myself, so that's definitely, you know, it's terrible that that happened. He's perfectly fine now. Everything is completely resolved. As far as his bleeding, he does have blood loss, anemia too, so the both of us are dealing with that, but it's just going to take time and we'll get back. So, get back to normal. Other than that, my husband smoked a turkey this weekend, so I was just cleaning up with the leftovers. I made gumbo. We had gotten an extra turkey at Thanksgiving, and I like to, you know, stock up when they're on sale, but then we're getting a cow. We're getting a quarter side of beef delivered, or I gotta go pick it up. I'm not exactly sure what day, but sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna get a call and I have to go get that much beef, so I wanted to clean out my freezer, so we went ahead and had that this weekend. I got my poinsettia. So I got my tree up, I got my poinsettia, I got my nativity scene, which is a Little People's nativity for children, but I have a hard time finding a nativity scene that I like, so I just have never bought one. And I considered making one, but I kind of want like a wood carved one, and I don't have any skills to wood carve little figurines and things like that, so I'm keeping my eye out. But we got lights on the house too, so we're getting ready for Christmas. I did my holiday baking so far, that's all I got. I want to make some pizzelles. I'm actually surprised my son hasn't woken up yet. So maybe I'll make those tonight if he's kind of down for a little while. I'll show you how I make those. Alright, so here's the recipe. This is the recipe that came with the pizzelle maker. I don't have any vanilla on hand, so I'll have to do without that. And I use Earth Balance in place of the butter. So I'll microwave that to melt it. That's a stick of butter, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, these eggs I got from the farm. This egg doesn't even fit, like it doesn't even close. This egg is so big. That's a chicken egg. Huge. This is a normal sized chicken egg. So 3 eggs go in here. Calls for 1 teaspoon of anise and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So this is like the classic flavor. But I threw away the book that came with this, but it came with recipes to make like the chocolate ones and mint ones, like mint chocolate or just mint orange, lemon, almond. Basically, you can just change out the extract and make them all different flavors. And let's see, 1 3/4 cups of flour. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And my iron is warming up. So this is really easy. Just mix up into a batter. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to use my cookie scoop. They only take like 30 seconds to cook. Just wait for the steam to slow down a little bit. But it does take a while to make a whole batch because you can only make 2 at a time. And you have to stand here with it instead of just throwing them in the oven and walking away for 14 minutes. Oh, I put too much in. It overflowed. That's alright. And they're still like flexible. Let's see. They're still flexible when they're warm, so you can put them in molds and you can make them into cones or like make them into tubes and fill them with things. I just let them cool flat. You can also make some chocolate chip cookies. These are the ones I made before the baby was born. They're think we baked 2. This might be the last one that was in there. I can't remember how many I made. But I think I'm gonna take some of these cookies to my midwife. We have our 6 weeks appointment tomorrow, and it's kind of a goodbye until next baby. Give her some Christmas cookies. Alright, so there's the finished Pizzelle's pretty decent stack. And I'll go ahead and put these in since the oven just preheated. Alright, so let's see what this looks like inside. It's not bad. It's a lot lighter than my last few loaves. Alright, so let's see what the cookies look like. Oh, they're a little dark. I was interrupted. They're a little dark, but they'll be fine. So I got cookies and more cookies and bread. I think that's everything for tonight. I'll show you my Christmas tree. There it is. Let me turn it on. There it is. We don't even have a star on top. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully I'll be able to make some more videos in the near future. And I think that's it. So, Merry Christmas and ho ho ho. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.